गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी शोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन शोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे मदन मोहन जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शना निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जगन्नाथ सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री गौरताई की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की आप सब भक्तों की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. Actually, we should put garland for Radheshyam Prabhu. Huh? We have to welcome him. He is putting more garland for me. Get him garland for me. So, we are all reciting from the 5th canto, 9th chapter, text number 15. It's in prose order. Nevertheless, we will try to recite. Atapanayastam swavidhinabhishichyāhatena vāsasāchhādya bhūषणालेपस्रक् तिलकादिभिरुपस्कृतं भुक्तवन्तं धूपदीपमाल्यलाजकिसलया अंकुरफलोपहारोपेतया Vaisha Sanstaya Mahata Gita Stuti Mridanga Panava Ghoshena Cha Purusha Pashum Bhadrakalyaha Purata Upaveshayamasuhu. Atha, thereafter, Panayaha, all the followers of the dacoit, Tam, him, Jadabharata, Swavidhina, according to their own ritualistic principles. Swavidhina means their own ritualistic principles. Abhishitya, bathing, Ahatena, with new, Vasasa, garments, Achadhya, covering, Bhushana, ornaments, Alepa, smearing the body with sandalwood pulp, Srak, a flower garland, Tilaka Adibihi, with markings on the body and so on. Upaskritam, completely decorated, Bhuktavantam, having eaten, Dhupa, with incense, Deepa, lamps, Malya, garlands, Laja, parched grain, Kisalaya Ankura, twigs and sprouts, Phala, fruits, Upahara, other paraphernalia, Upetaya, fully equipped, Vaishasa Samsthaya, with complete arrangements for sacrifice, Mahata, great, Gita Stuti, of songs and prayers, Mridanga, of the drums, Panava, of the bugles, Ghoshena, by vibration, Cha, also, Purusha Pashum, the man animal, Bhadrakalyaha, of the goddess Kali, Purataha, just in front, Upaveshayamasuhu, Upaveshayamasuhu, made him sit down. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. After this, all the thieves, according to their imaginative ritual for killing animalistic men, bathed Jadabharata, dressed him in new clothes, decorated him with ornaments befitting an animal, smeared his body with scented oils, and decorated him with tilaka, sandalwood pulp, and garlands. They fed him sumptuously and then brought him before the goddess Kali, offering her incense, lamps, garlands, parched grain, newly grown twigs, sprouts, fruits, and flowers. In this way, they worshipped the deity before killing the man animal, and they vibrated songs and prayers and played drums and bugles. Jadabharata was then made to sit down before the deity. Purport. In this verse, the word Swavidhina, according to their own ritualistic principles, is very significant. According to the Vedic Shastras, everything must be done according to regulative principles. But here it is stated that the thieves and rogues devised their own process for killing an animalistic man. The Tamasic Shastras give instructions for sacrifice of an animal like a goat or buffalo before the goddess Kali. But there is no mention of killing a man, however dull he may be. This process was manufactured by the dacoits themselves. Therefore, the word Swavidhina is used. Even at this time, there are many sacrifices being conducted without reference to the Vedic scriptures. For instance, in Calcutta, recently a slaughterhouse was being advertised as a temple of goddess Kali. Meat eaters foolishly purchase meat from such shops, thinking it different from ordinary meat and taking it to be the prasad of goddess Kali. The sacrifice of a goat or a similar animal before the goddess Kali is mentioned in Shastras just to keep people from eating slaughterhouse meat and becoming responsible for the killing of animals. The conditioned soul has a natural tendency towards sex and meat eating. Consequently, the Shastras grant them some concessions. Actually, the Shastras aim at putting an end to these abominable activities, but they impart some regulative principles so that gradually meat eaters and sex hunters will be rectified. So the word swavidhina is used here. You see, they are putting kumkum tilaka on his head. They are feeding him nice food. They are putting a silk cloth on his body, offering him garland, and then they want to cut his head. What kind of puja is that? Where you apparently offer respect to somebody and then you want to, you know, decapitate his head. Therefore, such things are never mentioned in the scriptures. Such Narabali, Prabhu says here. This is a concoction of some people like this dacoits, he says. What to speak of this? Even killing a goat. There is one function in Nepal where 5,000 buffaloes are killed. That so much gross slaughter. Similarly, in many villages, even today, they kill 1,000 goats, 2,000 goats, and say that we are offering to Kali. Every year they have a practice, and they feed 10,000 people like this. In Mahabharata, there's a story of one time, some fellows were planning to have annadan, and as a part of that great festival, they had brought a goat. So they had tied the goat. When the time of the ritual came, before Kali, they brought the goat to cut the neck. At that time, the goat first laughed and then cried. So they were surprised. Whoever was there, Pujari, he asked the goat, "Hey, why did you laugh? Why did you cry?" The goat said, "I laughed because in the previous life I had also cut a goat. And now I have become..." Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the goat said, "I laughed because my karmic reaction will be over." And then he said, I'm crying for you guys, he said, because now you will cut me and then you will have to again be reborn and you are going to be killed in future. Therefore I cried, he said. So as soon as they heard it, some of them fainted having heard that. And some of them bowed down to the spiritual knowledge of the goat. Because they were amazed that the goat is aware of his karmic reactions and it is also having a memory of the previous life and it is speaking transcendental knowledge. So at once they all became enlightened and they decided not to go ahead with that vidhi. So many people are ignorant and unaware of the grave consequences that await them when they are killing so many goats and everything. What to speak of killing a human? That is a far more heinous act. What these fellows are doing. That's why the word is mentioned, swavidina. Sometimes people come up with their own speculative philosophies. So, like for example, one boy who was coming to our programs, some of his friends said, hey, there is no need of accepting any guru. You can just know the fact that Lord is in our heart and, we can just, be happy the way we feel. Just flow with the world. Just be happy with the world. God is in everybody's heart and we get inner guidance, that's good enough. We don't need a guru, he said. And this fellow gave up coming to classes. He gave up chanting for a month or two. Then he realized if you follow your own mind, you are definitely led there, where, nowhere. And you will end up doing foolish activities, ignorant activities, sinful activities. If one listens to one's own mind. So then again he came running back to the program. He said, Prabhuji, my friend misguided me like this. That's a speculative philosophy, to say that you don't need a guru. Krishna clearly says in 4.34, what he says? Tadvidde pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. He says one should, without any reservation, surrender at the lotus feet of a guru and inquire from him submissively. And one should also render service, seva. In every field, you have a guru. You want to learn karate? There is a guru. You want to learn kung fu? There is a guru. You want to learn Bharatanatyam? There is a guru. Even P.T. Usha wanted to run. Even for running, she had a guru. I was thinking to run from here to there, why do you need a guru? They have a guru also. Isn't it? Every field, you have a guru. So you can't do anything. You have to learn cooking. Some guru has to teach you how to cook. You learn from somebody. Become an apprentice under an expert and then learn from them. Then you can grow in that field. So we need a guru in every field. So this fellow understood that. His friend misguided him that you don't need a guru, just hear your mind, do what you want in life. You see, it's a speculative philosophy, isn't it? Similarly, another boy, he was going to learn some yoga in one studio. So the yoga teacher was teaching all different type of yogas, asana, pranayama and all. The yoga teacher said, now we will do meditation. You just sit down and then you can just silently meditate and don't utter any word or anything. So he also thought, I will silently chant in the mind. So after some time he went to sleep silently, isn't it? And he couldn't hear anything. So he realized, oh, is it a correct method or not? Then he went and asked his Hare Krishna teacher, and then Hare Krishna teacher showed him. See, Prabhupada says one should chant loudly, pronounce clearly, and hear attentively. So two senses should be engaged. One is the tongue to utter the chanting, and the ear to hear. Because bhakti means rishikena rishikesha sevanam. Senses should be engaged. If tongue and ear are not engaged, then that is not proper chanting. There is something called upamsa chanting that is not for us. Very advanced Mahatma devotees, who are chanting 24 hours, the holy name is going on in their mind, they can chant like that. As far as we are concerned, we should utter the chanting with our lips. Prabhupada says 3 things should be engaged: upper lip, lower lip, and tongue. All of you chant Hare Krishna. Check yourself. 3 are engaged. Upper lip, lower lip, and tongue. Prabhupada said, don't hiss like a snake. He said, Hare, Hare, Hare. Don't do like that. He said, don't hiss like a snake. He said, you have to engage all the 3. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then this devotee understood this. We should not speculate our own methods of chanting. So that's why he says Svavidina means, one should not speculate, as it is mentioned here. Yeah. So, and also rituals. Another thing you find here, these fellows are putting some kumkum, chandan, garland, and silken cloth, giving that fellow, opulent food to eat. This appears like they're giving him pleasure. But then they want to sever his head. Just see. It's a foolish ritual. It's a ritual, a tamasika ritual. Tamasika means destructive mindset. What type of ritual is this? So, one should, behind the ritual, one should always know what is the purpose behind the ritual. That's very important. Like one time, a group of boys wanted to put up a big kirtan event for the youth festival. So, they got various instruments and everything. They were actually planning to sing Hare Krishna only. But one boy said there is one famous Bollywood song which is very popular in the recent past. So if we play that song, that would come out very well. We would play that song little bit, 1 or 2 lines, we will sing the song, and then we will sing Hare Krishna after that. In the same tune we will sing. So when they started that music, as soon as they played that Bollywood, little 1 or 2 lines they sang, and all the youths went mad because it was a famous Bollywood song. And after that they sang Hare Krishna, but nobody sang Hare Krishna. They continued singing that song only. Bollywood song, everybody. One boy came to the stage, he picked up the mic and started singing that Bollywood song. And all others also clapped hands and imitated. They started dancing, everybody to the song. And people were finding out how to control these fellows. So it went uncontrolled. Then they had to switch off the sound system after that. So why? Because later on he went to the senior preacher. The senior preacher said, Prabhu, singing Hare Krishna is not for entertainment. Singing is for purification. You did not know the purpose behind the ritual. Singing, dancing, all these things we also do, outsiders also do. But the purpose is different. When you go to DJ, there boys, girls dance in colleges. Even on a Ram Navami day, they say they celebrate a festival, but then they are dancing to DJ tune, playing some Hollywood, Bollywood music, whether it is Ganesh Chaturthi or whether it is Vijayadashami or whatever. For them, all these religious functions are only opportunities for entertainment for them. Like in my college days, there was one boy, one of my friends, he was not known for being very religious or anything. He would go to movie, party and everything. One day he came and asked me for some money that he is going to put Durga Puja festival. So can you please give some money? I gave him some 100, 200 rupees. All of us friends gave. So he had invited all of us to come for that festival. So we went. We were shocked. Why? Because there was a big vessel in which they were cooking. One fellow was having a cigarette in his hand and cooking with the other hand. One fellow, somebody was cooking. That's a prasad supposed to be cooked and offered to Kali. Then there was a big Kali Murti with multiple hands sitting on a line, kept in the middle of the pandal. Kept in the front. And when I looked around, where is my friend? I found they were all in pairs, boy and girl standing in pairs. I was the only one without pair. Everybody just, and the big loud Bollywood music was going on. loud, full blown, full blast. When I was searching, then that fellow came running and said, "Hey, Radheshyam, you never thought you will come." I said, "I donated for you, you invited, so I came." I said, he immediately brought some apples in a carry bag and gave me and said, "Hey, please push off. You will not like this function," he said. I said, "But there is some puja and all you are saying?" He said, yeah, puja is an opportunity for get together, that's all. So after that he went away. So these are religious rituals used as a vehicle for sense gratification by the conditioned souls. Same thing with Ganesh Chaturthi also, you will see people may take them in the street, for procession, everything. This is an opportunity for them to do sense gratification. And all the four regulative principles they break. People smoke, people drink, people mix freely with man, woman, and anybody. They eat meat and everything like that. What kind of religion is this? It is a cheating religion. That's why it's called as Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Parama. So these are all externally packaged as religious activity, but intended for sense gratification. But the true purpose of religion is purification of heart. So you can see Srila Prabhupada, how kind he is, that he went to America, a place like America, even there he instituted the true religious principles. In ISKCON society, it's not that ours is a dry method. We have dancing also, we have chanting, we have singing, we also play instruments and everything. We have nice feast prasad, we celebrate festivals. But everything is done in sattva and beyond sattva, Vishuddha sattva, where there is a strict adherence to the four regulative principles. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no drinking, no smoking. Very strict adherence. So because it is a proper vidhi given in the scriptures, Yutam Panam Striya Asuna Yatra Adharmas Chaturvida, adharmic activity should be abandoned. So that is why ritual also should not be blindly accepted. Behind the ritual, the purpose should always be understood. Why am I doing what I am doing? The ritual, whatever ritual we accept. We have a whole session on that, why we do what we do, isn't it? We just don't blindly do something that just because it's a tradition, because we are given reasons for everything. Prabhupada taught very logically, there's the reason and everything. And another important thing, when we do a ritual blindly, without knowing the purpose, then some dangerous result will come out of it. Just like you see, you want to bake a bread in the furnace. But if you're baking a bread with petrol, like that the fire will erupt. Is it not true? Isn't it? You are supposed to bake the bread with some oil, which is edible oil, eatable cooking oil. But if you put a petrol and bake it, it's going to burst. That's what happened. They are taking the body of a pure devotee, like Jadabharata, and they are trying to cut him, cut his neck. So that turned out to be a terrible act. Aparad, mahad aparad. Pumso mahad atikrama. Therefore Kali became wild and her deity burst open, and then she multiplied into 12 forms, and she took the same chopper that these fellows were about to use and chopped off all their heads, and all the Kali forms were showing a shrilling laughter, and they were throwing the heads between one another, like playing like a volleyball, like a basketball. They were throwing and playing, and the blood was gushing out of their necks, and different forms of the Kali they were drinking. So terrible thing happened like that, because they were committing a mahadaparad. So blind ritual should not be applied on pure devotees. That's another very important lesson. So one should be careful. There was one devotee who was filling up the form for Prabhupada in those days. He asked, Swamiji, your father's name, your mother's name, and then your place of birth. And then he asked the question to him, have you committed any murder? Like that he asked. Prabhupada said, what? Prabhupada asked. No, I'm just reading out the question to you. You have to just say yes or no, like that he said. Prabhupada said, what? I am surrounded by dangerous fellows, he said. Because actually we should not behave like a machine. Huh? While dealing with a pure devotee, you should know what question is appropriate to be asked. One cannot ask a foolish question like this. Huh? So, because the blind ritual means you act like a machine. Huh? You don't think. What makes us different from a machine is our conscious awareness when we do things. For example, I keep my alarm at 3 a.m. in the morning. Huh? Now, sometimes I get up at 2:30 only or 2:45 only I get up. And I go to the bathroom to take a bath. Half the way when I am taking bath, the alarm will start ringing. Tanananan, get up, get up, get up. Because machine is a machine. Huh? He doesn't know I have already gotten up. Huh? And I'm already bathing. Because it's a blind thing. That's the way people who are blind ritual followers behave like that. Huh? So, the machine doesn't know that the purpose for which he put alarm is already served. Why should I call him now? He doesn't know. On the other hand, if another roommate was sleeping, I told him, get me up at 3. So 3 o'clock he will see I am not in my bed. What he will do? Will he bat at the bathroom door and tell me, get up, get up? Huh? He won't say that. Huh? That's the meaning of a conscious person. Huh? So, we also should know the rituals, how to adjust the rituals sometimes. Like for example, we go to some place where some few rituals have to be done before you start the event. But sometimes out of the two, the ritual versus essence, the ritual can take a secondary importance. And the essence should be given primary importance. Correct, no? Like I remember when I went to a house, some particular one house program, they had garland, almost a dozen people having big garlands. Lot of garlands and welcoming, giving a silken cloth around this thing and then introducing some other people, the beginning, and then different rituals going up, coming down, seeing the house, everything. I said, all that I will do after my talk. As the talk get over, many people have come. The rituals took almost half an hour, 40 minutes. And when I sat, I asked, how much can I speak? They said, can you finish in 10 minutes? They said, after that we have some more rituals pending. So, the purpose of calling a saintly person is to hear. One should hear. I won't say rituals are useless. Rituals also have their place. Because rituals have no place. When Vaishnava Siddhanta, why we have so many rituals? Rituals also are purifying. Provided they are connected to the essence. Stripped off of the essence, rituals are empty. Just like I told you once, I am thirsty now. I ask you, please bring me a Bisleri bottle. You come and give me an empty Bisleri bottle. I may ask you, hey Prabhu, I asked you for water, how did you bring empty bottle? You may say, Prabhu, you only told Bisleri bottle, I brought it. You are bringing ritual without essence. So, rituals are meaningful only when essence is connected to it. Without the understanding the essence behind the ritual, it wouldn't be appropriate. So here these fellows are ritualistic fellows. They must have learned from their superiors in the family this kind of so-called bali, which is a concocted ritual. Now, one of our boys has become a devotee. He came and told me that in his village, his mother, father, they are all cutting the 1,000 goats yearly once. He said, Prabhu, in my family, except me, everybody is a meat eater. He said, they eat daily meat, some of them eat twice a day also. So what do I do now? He has become a 16-pounder now. He has stopped now. He has understood. Now he has to bring the others. So, because the living entity becomes unruly when it enters the area of sense gratification. Whether it is sex life or meat eating, why Prabhupada is saying only these two things and not the other things? There are two senses which are very difficult to control, the tongue and the genitals. And this is repeatedly mentioned in the Bhagavatam in many places. If one controls the tongue, then one can control sex life also. Both are connected also. So, if one starts eating meat, drinking wine, then more and more and more and more, one will become degraded. One will start eating every day. Therefore, the Vedas have kept some kind of regulation that, okay, those who are very religious in Kali followers, they will eat meat only on Amavasya day. Once in a month only. On that day, they can cut a goat, offer to Kali, and they can eat it, but not other times. So in their community, they will be considered the most saintly people because he touches meat only once in a month. And other people will adore him and say, we will also try to reduce like him. We cannot reduce so much, but they will say, maybe we will eat only once a week or once in 2 weeks or whatever. For that it is kept. Ideally speaking, it is taboo. It's no, one shouldn't eat. Just like a child is not going to school. Mother says, beta, you go to school, I'll give you Cadbury. Is Cadbury very good for the teeth? Not good. But mother says, okay, at least he will go to school. Then he goes to school, she gives Cadbury for a week. Once the school going becomes regular, Cadbury stops. After that. That's how these things are kept. These kind of things. It's not that Shastras encourage meat eating or drinking wine. Like government of any government, for example, has a liquor shop where they have a permit also, correct, no? How much liquor a person can buy and drink. Now somebody may ask, why should liquor be promoted? Liquor should be completely stopped. But the problem is, when you completely stop the liquor, in village people make their own desi, they call it. That is very dangerous. People who drink that desi liquor, they will die also. It will kill their body. So in order to stop that, they put strict police vigilance that nobody produces the desi type of liquor. Instead, they are allowed some permit. Okay, drink this little bit, keep quiet. Don't prepare your own dangerous thing. Like that it is kept. In the same way, the demigod worship is also kept in that same manner. If demigod worship is kept, then people will go to demigods and take some material benefits and keep quiet. Otherwise, they will concoct worshipping some humans. They will concoct different type of things. That's why demigod worship is kept. Because if you tell them Shuddha Bhakti, not everybody is ready for worshipping without any motivation. Like that, the liquor drinking or meat eating, some sanction is given for those who cannot give up. For them, it's kept. So, in the same manner with sex life, one should not go for extramarital relationship. One should always stick within married life. But Prabhupada writes in one purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam that even in Lord Krishna's times, Vedic times, there were some society women who were present. Even in Dwaraka, when Krishna arrived in Dwaraka, at that time, amongst those who welcomed, some of them were like prostitutes or like society women who were also there welcoming. So now somebody may wonder, in Vedic times, were there such people? So if you watch the movie of Bilva Mangal, Thakur, in that movie, who is that lady who was Chintamani, correct, no? So the Chintamani, we call her as a prostitute, but in the Vedic time, prostitute has multiple meanings. One is a woman who is single woman, who has no other male support. Her parents are not there, husband is not there, she is single, she has a beautiful body, and she has to survive. So sometimes they would do dance for the pleasure of rich fellows. Sometimes rich fellows would go to them to get some encouragement, some talking to them, joking with them, spending time with them. Some of the old fellows, even 80-year-old man may go to her if he is a millionaire or a billionaire, sometimes. And it is likely that some people may go to the point of exchanging, going to the point of sex life with them. Also, there is a possibility. But a prostitute is a woman who survives based on some of the money given by these rich fellows. That kind of people. Now, does the Shastra give sanction to any rich person to go to such woman? Not at all. Because going outside the marriage to another woman is considered criminal, it's considered sinful, and it is a punishable thing. He will definitely get punishment for that. But still, why were such women existing in the Vedic times? Because if such women don't exist, this rich men will pollute the women born in good families. So just like I told you about the liquor, some sanction of liquor is given. Similarly, some sanction of such women were also given in the Vedic times. They would not live in the common place, where everybody lives. They would live in some remote place where some fellows who are uncontrolled in their senses, they will become like untethered bull going around polluting all women if they are not given this kind of option. Sometimes their wife also knows that this fellow is uncontrolled. He goes, sometimes rich man. And of course, many things can happen for such people also. Sometimes they may be killed also because of the weakness for women, like that. But the point is, the Vedic life is pure life, but such concessions should not be considered as welcomeable things in life. They are kept for those who cannot control their senses, who are like two-legged animals. For them, some sanction is kept. But what these fellows are doing is even below that sanction. Because they are not even aligning with the sanction given in the Vedas. That's why it is called Swavidhina. And they are not understanding who is the Jada Bharata, pure devotee. He is like the crown jewel amongst all humans. And they are considering him like a pebble in the street. They don't understand how he should be valued, adored, admired. And you should hear from such saintly persons. Rather than do that, they are making an effort to kill him foolishly. So that is why it's very important for us to also consider this point, to be able to see through the externals and understand the standard of anybody. One time in one village, a program was going on in one preaching center. One school-going boy started coming. He was just in about 6th or 7th standard. But he was very sincere. Can you imagine that boy started 16 rounds chanting, even in 6th standard. Regularly he was coming for the classes. He memorized many, many shlokas. He completed Bhagavad Gita. And then his parents were giving him pocket money. He saved and saved and saved. For 5 years he saved. When he came to 11th standard, he purchased Bhagavatam set. With that. And he started studying Bhagavatam. So there was one brahmachari preacher going to that village regularly, but he didn't especially recognize anything in this boy. This boy was one amongst the 200 people coming. But one senior preacher went to that program. Immediately he recognized this boy. He said, look at him. He recites shlokas so nicely and he is studying the Shastras well. And he is super faithful. He is inspiring dozens of people to get up early in the morning and do the arati. They are going to his house. So he recognized him, he called him, he gave attention. And this boy went on to become a big preacher after that. Later on he became a dedicated devotee. Why am I telling you this? We should be able to detect a pearl from a pebble. We should be able to differentiate what is a pearl, what is a pebble. Pebbles may be thousands, but pearl is one. So because the senior preacher could see through and find out. So Lord Chaitanya also was like that. He would always, see through people and understand. One old Varisan lady, she had that eagerness to see Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu noticed that. Nobody else noticed it. You see? Mahaprabhu was aware. Similarly, South Indian Brahman, others were teasing that Brahman, but Mahaprabhu recognized. He said, oh, this Brahman thinks that Parthsarathi, Lord Krishna, is riding the chariot of his own devotee Arjun. And this Brahman was weeping out of Bhakti Bhava, seeing the Bhakta Vatsalya of the Lord. So Mahaprabhu embraced and said, you have attained the perfection of life. So that's very important. Somebody may be covered. One day when Lord Chaitanya was in Chandrasekhar Vaidya's home, where was it? It was Varanasi, I think. Varanasi. At that time, Sanatana Goswami had arrived after a long distance of traveling, escaping from the jail with a lot of beard and mustache and long flowing hair. Nobody can recognize him. He was completely unkempt. So, Mahaprabhu, even before Sanatan battered the door, Mahaprabhu on his own said, there is one Vaishnava outside, go and bring him. So Chandrasekhar Vaidya went and peeped outside. He saw Sanatan, but then Sanatan didn't look like a Vaishnava by his externals. So he came back and said, there is no Vaishnava outside, he said. Mahaprabhu said, is there anybody at all? He said, yes, there is one Dharavesh, he said. Mahaprabhu said, he is a devotee, Sanatan. And they opened the door. When he came, Mahaprabhu embraced him. And Chandrasekhar Vaidya was surprised. Who is this fellow? Why Mahaprabhu showing so much affection? He couldn't know. So Prabhupada writes there, one who is Kanishta cannot recognize a Vaishnava. So the Vaishnava cannot be judged by one's externals. Like Puntrika Vidyanidhi could not be detected by common people as a great Vaishnava devotee. Vritrasura, nobody can recognize him to be a Vaishnava when you see him. Bali Maharaj, Prahalad, Vritrasura, all these people were born in demoniac clan, but they went on to become pure devotees. So don't misjudge great Vaishnavas who may be hidden. They are like a diamond covered by mud externally. Remove the mud, the diamond will come out. So he's also like this, our Jadabharata also. Like Vidura, you see, his two brothers very much recognized his greatness. Dhritarashtra and Pandu, they knew that Vidura, although he is called as the Dasi Putra, born to a Dasi, he was very wise, very learned, deeply learned. He had deep spiritual insights to share. Was a great advisor of Dhritarashtra also, isn't it? So we should not go by the external birth or anything. There is one famous verse by Prahalad. Viprad Vishad Gunayutat Aravindanabha Padaravinda Vimukhat Shvapacham Varishtam Manye Tadarpita Mano Vachane Hitartha Pranam Punati Sakulam Natu Bhuri Manaha. He's telling, my dear Lord Narasimha, in this world, even if a Brahman has a dozen good qualities, but he's a non-devotee, he is good for nothing, he says. On the other hand, even somebody born in a demoniac family or in a Chandala family, if he's a devotee, he is superior even to a non-devotee Brahman. That means a Chandala family devotee is superior to a non-devotee Brahman, like that is telling. So Prahlad is able to understand the meaning of who a devotee is. There is another verse, famous verse, Shat karma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnavo gurur nasyat vaishnavo shapacho guru, something like that, isn't it? Avaishnava one should not hear from, but one should hear from Shapacha, who is a Vaishnava, even if he's a dog eater. That's why Prabhupada would go to another verse very often. He would say, Shuchihaya Muchi Yadi Krishna Tyaje. Muchihaya Shuchi Yadi Krishna Bhaje. It's very easy to remember. So Shuchi means Brahman. Muchi means this one. What do you call the nai? Barber. Or is it Muchi is our cobbler? Cobbler. Shuchihaya Muchi means a Brahman is considered to be like a cobbler. Yadi Krishna Tyaje means what? If he gives up Krishna. And Muchihaya Shuchi, a cobbler can be considered as good as a Brahmana. Yadi Krishna Bhaje. How many of you can memorize this verse easily? Who can tell the verse? Let us see. One Prabhuji, one Mataji can say. Anybody? Raise the hand. You ready? Can I give the mic to him? Okay, take this one very well. Otherwise, you have a loud voice. The mic is coming.
Suchihai Muchi Yadi Krishna Tyaje. Muchihai Suchi Yadi Krishna Bhaje.
Haribo. One Mataji that side. Anybody give a mic to them? We'll give them. Who? You raise the hand, mic will come to you. Some of them are afraid one or two words may get missed out.
Shuchi hoye Muchi Yadi Krishna Tyaje.
Yes.
Muchi hoye Shuchi Yadi Krishna Bhaje.
Haribo. Learned it. Instantly, some devotees have learned this verse, isn't it? Such a beautiful meaning it is. So, if you have to truly become a Brahman or a Vaishnava, then one has to do bhajan of Krishna. That's the meaning. So, let us cultivate that X-ray vision to see the spark of Krishna consciousness in others and not neglect people who are great souls who may be externally not recognizable. I will just conclude with one last example. Once Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar He went to one marriage, some royal marriage, very great, grand marriage. He was wearing dhoti, just like dhoti kurta, and went with a hand stick in his hand. So as soon as he was about to enter that marriage compound, the watchman looked at him and stopped him. He thought, who is this niggardly dress this fellow is wearing? Looks very pathetic, simple. He said, no, you can't go inside, he said. He said, I know so-and-so. He said, no. He thought he should be rejected. So then he went home, and then he put himself with coat, suit, boot, tie, everything, cap also, everything, like a British. Then he boarded a silver coach drawn by big horses. They came, and the coach stopped. As soon as he got down from the coach, watchman, like that he saluted and stood behind. Like this he said. So he went inside. And when everybody was sitting around the table and eating, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasakar did one drama there. What he did, he took gulab jamun and he was rubbing on the coat and saying, coat, eat. He was selling, And the organizer came running and said, because everybody thought he has gone mad. Organizer asked, sir, what happened? People are all saying something. He said, see, this is how I came. I was not welcomed. After I wore this dress and came, I was welcomed. So I think the welcome is only for my coat. Therefore I am feeding the coat. This food is not for me, he said. Then the organizer understood. He called the watchman. Hey! He scolded him. Gave him a good scolding. You fool, you don't understand who is this great soul. Isn't it? Because that fellow did not recognize who he was, nor did he even make an effort to ask, who are you, sir? Maybe you take a chair, wait here, I will check and come and ask you. So one should not judge people based on the external appearances. So who is advanced, how much, who knows? Very difficult to know by superficial observation. There is one verse in the this thing, the Jadabharata's last part, Rahuguna and Jadabharata, when the conversation ends, the forest of enjoyment, sorry, not there, before that. This is the verse. This is 5:13:23. Whatever I am talking now, this is the point. 5:13:23. Namo mahabhyostu namah shishubhyo namo yuvabhyo nama avatubhyah ye brahmana gamavaduta lingas charanti tebhyah shivamastu rajñam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the great personalities, whether they walk on the earth's surface as children. Who are the great personalities who are children? Anybody? Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, 4 Kumaras, isn't it? Young boys, that is these people. Children is the Ardha Dasha Vayasaha. What is Ardha Dasha Vayasaha? Dasha means? Ardha Dasha means? Yeah, that is our Kumaras. Yeah, so Kumaras are Prahlad. And young boys, he is saying, who are the young boys like our Shukadeva Goswami? Lad, he's a 16-year-old lad walking. And Avadhutas, like the 7th canto, 11th canto Avadhutas, are great Brahmanas. Even if they are hidden under different guises, I offer my respects to all of them. By their mercy, may there be good fortune in the royal dynasties that are always offending them. He's saying, we generally offend because of not able to recognize the greatness of devotees. Therefore, we should recognize that's the point. Shri Prabhupada ki. I can take 5 minutes questions. Anybody? Questions or comments, anything? So in essence, I elaborated on 3 things. Last thing I told you was, don't go by the externals. Let us recognize the devotee, even though devotee may be covered over, may not be able to recognize. That's the last point. One point before that I was telling was, see the essence behind ritual. Don't do rituals blindly. If you know the essence, ritual is not unimportant, but ritual should be connected to the essence. That was one point. And one point before that, don't do speculative, activities. One should not speculate anything. Like, you don't need a guru, you do something on your own and this kind of, or chant silently. Nowadays what happens, many students, they download things from the internet, like meditation practice or books, anything, and they read something and come and ask questions. Later on they get even more confused. Therefore, one should always know that we need to be guided. We surrender and learn. Otherwise, we are likely to be misled. So these are things we were elaborating. No questions? Yes, Prabhu. Please give the mic to him. Where is the mic? Yeah.
Can I make question in Hindi?
Oh yes. I can also answer in Hindi for you.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu जी. प्रभु जी, मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि इस कंपटीशन में अभी जो प्रेजेंट हमारा कंपटीशन है इतना, और सबके सब ग्रोथ करते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंग बन रही हैं, बहुत, और बच्चे भी हैं वो भी फुल कंपटीशन में सबके सब, और फिर हमें ये सिखाया जाता है सिंपल लिविंग, हाई थिंकिंग और डाउन टू अर्थ रहो, इस तरीके से सिखाया जाता है, और हम बहुत सिंपल रहते हैं कि कोशिश करते हैं, बट हम उस कंपैरिजन में जो कि इतना फास्ट ग्रोइंग हो रही है सारी की सारी बाहर जगह, तो उसमें तो हम बहुत पीछे छूट जाएंगे. हमें तो ऐसा लगता है कि हम बिल्कुल यहाँ पे कुछ सीख ही नहीं पाएंगे, और जो भौतिक संसार है इसमें तो हम बिल्कुल नगण्य से हो जाएंगे. तो इस वाले केस में हमें किस तरीके से
पहला चीज आपको निर्णय लेना होगा कि आपका उद्देश्य क्या है जीवन में, आप क्या पाना चाहते हो, उसको क्लियरली एक रिफ्लेक्शन, सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन करके आपको पहचानना होगा. क्योंकि इसमें 3 श्रेणी के लोग हैं. एक व्यक्ति है जो अनासक्त है, उसको ज्यादा भौतिक सामग्रियों की जरूरत नहीं है, सरल जीवन जी सकता है, और भौतिक लोग जितना भी उसको मजाक उड़ाए उसको छूता ही नहीं है, वो परवाह नहीं करता. उसको इतना अटूट विश्वास है कि भगवान का आश्रय ही एकमात्र आश्रय है. इस दुनिया में जितना भी ऐश्वर्य में जियो, अभी देखिए अहमदाबाद में जो 150 लोग बैठे एरोप्लेन में, 5 मिनट जाने के पहले वो खत्म हो गया, है ना. अभी भी जापान में ऊपर से नीचे ऐसा है एरोप्लेन, सुना ना आपने. हम इतने सुनते हैं. अभी अर्थक्वेक बता रहा था कि जापान में 900 अर्थक्वेक्स. ये एक प्रेडिक्शन था 4-5 साल के पहले कि 1000 अर्थक्वेक्स आने वाले हैं. ऐसे एक धार्मिक व्यक्ति ने भविष्यवाणी की थी. अभी 900 आ गया, अभी 2 दिन पहले भी. अभी क्रैक आ रहा है, कार जा रहा है रोड में, कार अंदर गया वो. तो इस तरह इस दुनिया में जीवन कितना क्षणभंगुर है. कमल दल जल जीवन छलमल. जो व्यक्ति देख पाता है कि ये दुनिया धोखाधड़ी है, इधर जितना भी तुम विजय पाओ, आज रात को करोड़पति हो सकता है कोई व्यक्ति, कल प्रातः काल में उसका शरीर मिट्टी में मिलेगा. इसलिए इस दुनिया में विजय प्राप्त करना मूर्खता है, क्योंकि ये विजय शाश्वत विजय नहीं है. जिसको इस बात के ऊपर अटूट विश्वास हो गया, आप उसको मजाक उड़ाने से भी उसको कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. ऐसे व्यक्ति को, ये एक तरह का श्रेणी का डिवोटी है. वो एकदम खुश है, वो अपने ही दुनिया में. ऐसे भक्तों में मैंने भक्तों को मिला भी है. आपको एक एग्जाम्पल दे सकता हूँ. हमारे विश्वकीर्ति प्रभु ऐसे हैं, जानते हैं आप विश्वकीर्ति प्रभु, जो कीर्तन करते हैं सुबह दोपहर शाम. आप आकर उनके साथ संग कर सकते हैं. बहुत सीनियर डिवोटी है इधर, 40 साल से ये चला रहे हैं हरिनाम संकीर्तन. मैं रोज जाता हूँ, जब इधर आता हूँ उनके साथ जाता हूँ, 7 से 7:30. आप भी जा सकते हैं. किसी भी भक्त को पूछिए, उनके साथ 1 महीना रहिए, आप ये दुनिया को भूल जाएंगे आप. हमको ट्रांसपोर्ट कर देंगे उधर. ऐसे अच्छे महान भक्तों के साथ संग करके हम भी थोड़ा अनासक्ति सीख सकते हैं. क्योंकि इतने आनंद पाते हैं कीर्तन में, हरिनाम में, भगवान के शिक्षण में पड़े रहते हैं ऐसे. और दूसरा श्रेणी का व्यक्ति है जिसको आसक्तियां हैं, लेकिन गुरु के शिक्षणों में भी आकर्षण है. गुरु ने आदेश दिया है, बोला कि भौतिक चीजों के पीछे भागो मत, सरल जीवन, ऊंचा विचार। इस तरह अभी बाहर के लोगों के साथ तुम स्पर्धा करोगे। अभी देखिए बाहर के लोग रजोगुण तमोगुण में हैं, वो रात को जागरण रखेंगे 2 बजे तक। हमारा जीवन ऐसे हो सकता है क्या? हमको जल्दी सोना है, जल्दी उठना है। और बाहर के लोगों का एक ही उद्देश्य पैसा बनाना है, पैसा बनाओ, और वो लोग सब तरह के नियमों को तोड़ते हैं। तो हम लोगों को उनके साथ तुलना नहीं करना चाहिए। हम सत्व गुणी जीवन जीना चाहते हैं, सत्व, विशुद्ध सत्व। उनके साथ तुलना करेंगे, उससे क्या होगा, हमको बहुत न्यूनगंडता होगी। हम सोचेंगे देखो मेरा भाई, देखो नहीं तो कजिन ब्रदर इतना आगे बिजनेस में बढ़ चुका है, मैं लाखपति हूँ, वो करोड़पति बन गया, ऐसे हम सोचेंगे। वो लोग भौतिक पदार्थों को एकत्रित करते जा रहे हैं, और हम हर दिन नाम जप करके आरती उतार कर हम आध्यात्मिक सुकृतियों को एकत्रित करते जा रहे हैं। तो भविष्य में क्या होगा, ये आध्यात्मिक सुकृति से आपको आसक्तियों से मुक्त होकर ऊपर उठेंगे, भगवान के लिए प्रीति होगा, मन शांत होगा, हम परम सुख का आनंद अनुभव करते हैं इस दुनिया में भी, ऐसे हैं। और शास्त्र पढ़कर भगवान के नाम गुण लीला इत्यादि के बारे में समझकर हम सुख शांति आनंद इस दुनिया में भी पाते हैं। और मृत्यु के बाद भगवान बताते हैं त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नहीं थी मामेति सोजना। भगवान ने वचन दिया तुम ये करोगे तो मेरे पास आओगे। तो गुरु उसको दोहराते हैं, हम श्रवण करते हैं। तो गुरु के आदेश पर, उनके बलबूते पर हम कुछ दुनिया के चीजों को त्याग कर हम आगे बढ़ने के लिए प्रयत्न करते हैं। अभी ऐसे करते समय क्या होता है, कुछ लोगों को, जैसे आपने अभी पूछा, वो गुरु के पास जाकर पूछेंगे गुरु महाराज आपने बोला करके मैंने इतना छोड़ दिया, अभी हमको थोड़ा दर्द हो रहा है मन में, है थोड़ा। और इसलिए गुरु लोग क्या बोलते हैं, आपके परिपक्वता के अनुसार वो आपको बोलेंगे कितना आगे बढ़ना है जल्दी, कितना धीरे धीरे बढ़ना। करेक्ट है ना? अभी एक लॉरी है, ट्रक तेजी से जा रहा है, मैं साइकिल में जा रहा हूं, तो लॉरी को पकड़ लेने से हम भी जल्दी जा सकते हैं। लेकिन लॉरी एकदम स्पीड पिकअप कर दिया तो साइकिल वाला को क्या हो सकता है? हाँ, एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है। इसलिए साइकिल वाले को बोलना पड़ेगा कि अगर लॉरी का स्पीड बहुत ज्यादा तो तुम चलाते हुए जाओ धीरे। इस तरह हम उनको बोलते हैं आपके साक्षात्कार के अनुसार छोड़ना चाहिए, नहीं तो जल्दी छोड़ दिया। एक व्यक्ति था पुणे में, पति पत्नी आए मुझे मिलने के लिए, बोले कि प्रभु जी अभी हमारा 40 हो गया, हम सब छोड़कर VRS लेकर हम मंदिर में आ जाते हैं, हमको सेवा दीजिए। हमने बोला सोच लो आप, VRS लेने के पहले VRS लिया उन्होंने, दोनों आ गए, एक डिपार्टमेंट दिया गया उनको, आप डेवलप करो। मैं तो ट्रैवल करता हूँ बहुत, उनको बोल दिया कि पूरा डिपार्टमेंट आपका है, ये डेवलप करो आप, करके छोड़ दिया। 3 महीने के बाद मैं वापस आया, दोनों आए, मैंने पूछा क्या किया आप लोगों ने? वो बोला प्रभु जी हम ऑफिस है, कंप्यूटर है, हम बैठे हैं, लेकिन हमको पता नहीं चल रहा है कि कैसे टेक ऑफ करेगा ये डिपार्टमेंट। कुछ मूवमेंट नहीं दिख रहा है, कोई हेल्प नहीं कर रहे हैं कोई। मैंने बोला किसी को भी हेल्प नहीं है, हर एक व्यक्ति को अपने आप चालू करना है इस दुनिया में। प्रभुपाद जी बोलते हैं कि कलकत्ता में एक व्यक्ति कैसे बिजनेस चालू किया, प्रभुपाद जी बोलते हैं वो सड़क में एक मरा चूहा देखा हो, उसको लेके जाकर म्युनिसिपालिटी में दिया, वो लोग 2 रुपया दिया, 2 रुपये से शेंगदाना खरीद कर बेचा, उसको 4 रुपया मिल गया, 4 रुपये से पटाना खरीद कर बेचा, 8 रुपया मिल गया उसको। ऐसे करते 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 बाद में उसने एक ग्रोसरी का दुकान खोल दिया। अभी उसी व्यक्ति का 20 बड़ा बड़ा दुकान है कलकत्ता में, इतना प्रसिद्ध है वो। तो उसने अपनी भाई, अपने बहन, सब लोगों को बिजनेस बनाकर दे दिया। 20-30 साल में उनके 20 दुकान हो गए ऐसे। तो प्रभु जी बोलते हैं कि इस तरह भक्तों को भी कुछ सेवा दिया जाता है तो उसको स्क्रैच से ऐसे डेवलप करना, उनको पहचानना चाहिए। तो मैं देखा कि मैं कुछ आइडिया दिया उनको क्या क्या कर सकते हैं। 6 महीने के बाद आया, वो डिपार्टमेंट में थे ही नहीं। मैंने पूछा किधर है, अभी वापस ज्वाइन कर लिया नौकरी में। तो पता चला मुझे उनको अभी तक साक्षात्कार नहीं है, छोड़कर पूरा कृष्ण की सेवा में आने के लिए। इसलिए शास्त्र भी क्या बोलते हैं, परम दृष्टवा निवर्तते। तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए, छोड़कर पूरा आने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो करते करते साथ साथ थोड़ा भक्ति में जुड़ना चाहिए, और भक्ति में हमारा एंगेजमेंट बढ़ जाएगा, रुचि भी बढ़ता जाएगा, तो उधर आना हम खुद को भी पता चल जाएगा कि ये सब अनावश्यक है, जो अनावश्यक उसको छोड़ते छोड़ते जाएंगे। अगर भक्ति हम 10% करते हैं तो 90% वो करेंगे, भक्ति का 40% हो गया तो वो 60%, अगर भक्ति का 90% हो गया वो 10% में चल जाएगा, वो समझ रहे आपने। ऐसे धीरे धीरे बढ़ना चाहिए इस तरह करने। इसलिए हमको क्या करना चाहिए, हम लोग काउंसलिंग सिस्टम है, कांग्रीगेशन में भी काउंसलर लोग जानते हैं कि कौन किस स्तर पर है, उसके अनुसार वो सुझाव देते हैं। इधर भक्ति वृक्ष सिस्टम है, इधर भी करेक्ट है ना। आप किसी ग्रुप में है ना आप?
नहीं प्रभु जी, मैं एक्चुअली मैं दिल्ली से आया था, मैं आज टेम्परेरी मतलब ट्रांसफर तो नहीं हुआ, कुछ दिन के लिए यहाँ हैदराबाद।
हाँ राइट राइट राइट। तो आपको एक महत्वपूर्ण चीज बताऊंगा आपके जीवन में, अगर आप गृहस्थ हो तो एक सीनियर गृहस्थ भक्त उधर लोकली जो भी हैं, जिनसे भी आपको प्रेरणा मिल रहा है, जिनको देखकर आपको लग रहा है कि ये आइडियल है, ये माता जी प्रभु जी बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं, तो उनके पास जाकर मिलिए, उनको बोलिए आपके प्रोग्राम से हमको जोड़िए।
हिज ग्रेस सर्वप्रिय प्रभु जी के अंडर।
हाँ अच्छा, राइट राइट राइट, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड। और उनके अब सर्वप्रिय ब्रह्मचारी है ना, हाँ, उनके ग्रुप में अनेक गृहस्थ भी हैं, करेक्ट है ना। हाँ, उनके गृहस्थ भक्तों के ग्रुप में जो भी सीनियर मोस्ट हो, सीनियर हो, ऐसे किसी से आपको जोड़ने के लिए बोलेंगे आप। हम ब्रह्मचारी लोग व्यवहारिक चीजों में ज्यादा गाइडेंस नहीं देते हैं, क्योंकि गृहस्थ लोग गृहस्थों को गाइडेंस देना उचित है, हम फिलॉसफी बताते हैं, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकल अभी लड़कियां हैं वो लोग माताजियों से गाइडेंस लेती है। इस तरह बिजनेस करने वाले लोग सीनियर गृहस्थ प्रभुजियों से गाइडेंस लेते हैं। इस तरह के प्रायोगिक गाइडेंस जो है उनसे लेंगे, गृहस्थों से लेंगे, उससे ज्यादा आपको लाभ होगा, ठीक है ना। थैंक यू
सो मच।
हरे कृष्णा। श्री प्रभुपाद की